Welcome to Trips Awakening. You subscribe to the truth. I got cut off, but I want to finish saying what speaking on this God and Jesus and Allah doesn't exist. Religion is created and everything is controlled and it's man-made, and that's what it is. And a lot of people get it confused and mixed up, and that's the world's problem. And I want everybody, whoever's watching this video, feel where I'm coming from. This gonna go over some heads, because it's too late for some of them because they're already programmed, and it's been passed down, to generation to generation. So, some people you just can't help. Some people you won't be able to help. But I put this video out because I want to awaken people, to help people find themselves, And there's a lot of people, they got low self-esteem when it comes to church. And some of them, have different baby fathers because some of these women, out here, and that goes with all races. Some of them is trifling because some of the stuff that they've been through. Some of them been raped. Some of them been mistreated and abused and, going through a lot of things. And they mess with the wrong type of guy. They got some kind of, got negative energy, and the negative energy can mess with the person. So they take on that person's energy, and then they do certain things. They can't control their physical. So they go to church to get help. And it ain't just that, men as well. Some dudes, some kids might have got their ass beat growing up and abused and seen certain things. And they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. So they're basically lost. And these churches is, like I said, they're not helping them by saying, well, pray to God and Jesus could do this, something that doesn't exist. It's like the children's fake ass Easter bunny, and they worship in Santa Claus. They worshiping pagan materialistic things that basically have certain spells to it. That's the reason why they put out certain things. It's programming. And a lot of people is confused. They get mixed up. And these ministers and preachers, anybody can get a license and preach. I can get a license and do it. And people will believe every word that's coming out my mouth if I was preaching that bullshit, but I wouldn't dare preach all that bullshit. I would have, that's the reason why Tyler Perry making millions and millions of dollars, because he got that church crowd, he got that religion crowd, and some of them, they're smart when it comes to doing that. If they want to, be successful, they'll get the church to back them up. The court system and all of that, all of that stuff is connected. You notice that the courts, they use the Bible when you go to court. The court is basically set up just like the church if you really look at it. I mean, it's all set up and y'all pledging to something, you subscribing to something that's made up to control you. And there's a lot of, and these ministers and preachers, they're sick. They sleep with children. They sleep with the church members. And I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So you just gotta, like I said, you just gotta find your higher self. You can't let these ministers and preachers come to your house and all of this stuff, the devil and all of that shit, that doesn't even exist. That's just something that was made up to make you, dumb you down and have you thinking like a child. If some of these adults are going around believing in this shit, and that's sad. And if you really look at it, religion and Christians and Muslims, they murdered up everything. And religion was forced on certain people. And I ain't gonna get all deep into history, but I'm just putting this stuff out there, people. Come on, I mean, that stuff doesn't exist. We're energy. We're energy. It's so many things that I'm putting out there that I want y'all to get. You know, it's different universes out here. You know, and then some people say, "Oh, I'm saving myself to get married and all of that." You know, there was programmed to do that. You know, marriage. I think being married, I think that's bullshit, and that's just my opinion. You know, they're making money. Like you can marry you know if you're so connected, you don't have to use this English thing. Let's get married. If you connected, you connected. You don't have. You know, they worshiping Saturn. You know, Saturn worshipers. You know, like Saturday. I ain't gonna get deep into that. That's another topic. But like that's basically there's some of these so-called beings that doesn't have souls. They worship in other planets. All right, so it's like a spiritual warfare and it's a secret society warfare going on as well. You know, it's like they're clashing. That's the reason why I say everything is about to get exposed. And when people find out, you know, even one of the popes even said that Jesus doesn't exist. I mean, come on, it's bullshit, people. I mean, it's bullshit. God, that's not even. I don't even know why people use that. It's on the Masons. I mean, that Mason money. You know, it's the Mason temple and shit and pyramids and all that stuff, which they got from Kim. I ain't gonna get deep into that. But you know, it's in God we trust. I mean, come on, that shit is that's paper. That's bullshit. It's nothing but a word. And like I said, it's gonna go over some people's heads. And so I know some of these Christians gonna come in and say, "Oh well, he's the devil. Satan get behind," and all that silly shit. I mean, they're programmed. That's programming. Like. Me, I'm not the bad guy. You're a 501c3 corporation preacher. He's the bad guy. And I'll tell that to the Pope, to Creflo Dollar, and T.D. Jakes, they're snake asses. I would tell them to their face. And I challenge any preacher, you know, when it comes to this. You know, they wouldn't want to talk to a person like me because I would say that right in front of their church members. I wouldn't care. But just like I'm talking to y'all in this video, I would say it. I would like on national TV. I wouldn't give a damn because it's bull and they know it's bull. All they preach about is money. You know, pay your tithes, do this and that. Got ATM machines, and you know, and some of you got places you got put in applications to join the church, and if you don't make enough money, you're not getting in. Some old woman got kicked out. It was on the news. She got kicked out of church because she ain't paid tithes. She been going there for 50 years. So it's, you know, the government's running that church. They're making money. They're casting spells. And they're using certain words to hold people down. You can't look up to people like that. You got to look and dig deep and find yourself. You know, and you can't believe none of these conscious people either. You know, like certain things that they be putting out there. You can't believe that crap either. You know, so you just gotta be careful who you listen to and who you surround your surroundings. You got to pay attention to that. Keep your circle small. I keep my circle small.